Welcome back to our Sterling Heights Public Library First Reads. My name is Jadwiga, and today I would like to recommend to you a few book titles from general fiction. All titles that I'm going to talk about today are currently available from our digital collection, and once we go back to our library building, also in a printed version. I want to start with the Swedish author Fredrik Backman. I enjoyed almost every book of his and would highly recommend them to you. A Man Called Avi tells the story of cranky old man who dislikes almost every person in his life. Behind his harsh exterior, there is a lot of sadness. And then one morning, he gets a new neighbors, chatty and friendly couple with 2 daughters, and unexpected friendship begins. I enjoyed it very much, this warm story written with a lot of humor. There is also a movie title based on this novel. It was released in 2016 and you can find it on Hoopla. 2 years after A Man Called Avi, Backman published Britt Marie Was Here. This time, the main character is a 63-year-old woman called Britt Marie. She's well-organized and socially awkward person. After she walks out from a cheating husband, she finds a job in a small town as a caretaker to soon-to-be-demolished recreation center. And then we have a bird town. Unlike my first 2 recommendations, this book does not have a lot of irony and humor. It also describes a life in a tiny community though. In this town, everything is about hockey. Town's prosperity and development depends on the results of juniors' hockey team. A violent act from one of the team's parties has a devastating impact on everybody in this small community. This book shows small town relationships, politics, connections. It is about right and wrong, about being a team and individualism. If you want to know what happened to the main characters of Birdtown, you can continue the story with the next book, Us Against You. In September of this year, we anticipate an English translation of Backman's new book, Anxious People, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next 2 books that I will recommend to you talk about race, privilege, prejudice, about justice, and compassion. Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult tells the story of Ruth Jefferson, African-American labor and delivery nurse. She is reassigned to another patient after the request from one of the baby's parents, who are white supremacists. When the baby has a cardiac distress, Ruth hesitates before performing CPR, and as a result, she's charged with a serious crime. In American Marriage by Tayari Jones, the life of young couple Roy and Celestial is shattered when Roy is arrested and sentenced for 12 years. Celeste is convinced that he is innocent. After 5 years, he is being released and tries to resume his life. If you are looking for some uplifting story, I would suggest to you choosing The True Story of Arthur Trulup by Elizabeth Burke. This book brings together 3 different characters and connects them in beautiful friendship. It is the first book in a series, so if you like it, you can continue with the next ones. If you are a fan of Indiana Jones, treasure hunters, adventures, and history, I would suggest Fargo Adventures book series by Clive Cussler. I recently finished reading the third book in the installment, The Kingdom, and now I'm listening audiobook for the fourth one. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Waiting for Eden by Elliot Ackerman. It is a moving story about after effects of war, about loyalty and friendships, betrayal and love. It tells the story of Eden, wounded Marine who lies in a hospital bed, and his wife Mary, who spends every day in his room. My last recommendation is All We Ever Wanted by Emily Giffin. It is a story about family and personal values. The character of this book will have to re-evaluate their morals in face of lies and a scandal. That is all what I prepared for you today. Feel free to leave comments with book titles that you are currently reading. You can find more videos produced by our library staff on our library Facebook page or SHTV1 YouTube channel. Take care.